trying to stand up for themselves, and sometimes things get out of hand a little too much. But game of basketball, I mean, just got tricky.
Gethin Goldball with the Sports Exchange, both for LeBron and Kyrie. Kevin Love said after the game that he thought it was a Bush League play. Kyrie, you just talked about. I don't know from LeBron what you saw on that.
Yeah, I seen the replay and it didn't look like a basketball play. I've seen a lot of tie-ups in my day, and that tie-up was a little different. You want to play the game of basketball the right way. You want to be physical, but you never want the game to get out of hand where you have injuries. We had 2 of them tonight, and you don't wish that on nobody. Now we're sitting, possibly with one of our big guys out, possibly. And their respective team, they have a guy. I'm not quite sure the diagnostic on him, but he may be out for a period of time as well. So you don't never want the game to get out of hand, and, because guys, just want them to just play the game the right way.
Guys, Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. You kind of touched on what I was going to ask LeBron, but did it actually get out of hand, and how upset were you guys as a team when you went into halftime and saw play? You just said that you did see it.
Well, you were very upset that it happened, and hopefully everything works out for us as a unit, and hopefully everything works out for Kevin. Further, that's the most important thing, and we'll see what happens.
LeBron, David Cunningham, ESPN.com. You speak a lot about staying in the moment and keeping your focus. Is that difficult to do, knowing that there's a couple things that are kind of up in the air going into the second round in terms of Kevin's injury stats and also J.R.?
You just control what you can control. That's all we can do. We have this small period of time to get better, and it's next man up, depending on what goes on with our team. Those are 2 big pieces, obviously, but the next man up, no excuses. Just get ready to go out and play.
LeBron, Bill Livingston, flame dealer. Did Thomas hit your arm? Did he get the ball? Have you ever had that happen before, where you're out of bounds and get a pass disrupted from behind?
No, I don't think it's ever happened before. Not my career. I don't think so.
Is there a rule for that? Do you know?
It's automatic technical.
Okay. That's what Vlad said.
It's automatic technical. You're not allowed to cross the line. You're not allowed to touch somebody when they're taking the ball out of bounds. It just can't happen. And we turned the ball over, and now we commit a foul, and they went from a possible 10-point lead to a 6-point lead. And especially in a game like this where you're trying to close out, you don't want anything to affect the way how you close the game out.
Hey, LeBron, Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. Jay Crowder has been a backup, played minimal minutes for most of his career with Dallas, and obviously he played a major role on this team. Spent a lot of time against you during this series. Incidents aside today, what did you learn about him as a player, just spending so many minutes against him during this series?
He's a guy who just tries to work hard and put his body on me, try to help the team win. That's all.
Paul Flannery, SB Nation. Kyrie, on your other side, Kyrie, what do you guys take from this series? This is your first series together, and now you got to win. What do you guys take from this playoff series going forward?
I think the biggest thing is that we have a lot of fighters on our team. I don't mean that in any way or anything like that. It's just the fight that we have for each other. We're gonna have each other's backs through whatever we go through. Obviously, it was me and Kevin's first series against a great team, and they tested us. At home and especially on the road here. Game 4 was the most physical game that I've ever played in, and it's just a test that I think I needed individually, and then also for our team as well going forward.
Who's on the front?
For both guys, does it feel like you just swept a series? And Kyrie, you just swept your first series. Or does it feel like the team's kind of I mean, you're in a bit of a spot right now with Kevin hurt, and you don't know what's going to happen with J.R.
I mean, well, we feel like we've advanced. We know we've advanced, and but it's going to get tougher and tougher. You know, and if we're fortunate enough to continue to play basketball at this time of the year, it'll get tougher and tougher. So, you know, as we wait for our second round opponent, we mentally just decompress for probably a day or two, maybe, and then you lock back in, you know, on your next opponent, and you know, there's a lot of things up in there with our team right now, but the things that we can't control is the guys that go out there and mentally prepare themselves this whole week. You know, once we get back at it and get ready for our next challenge.
Jared Weiss, CLNS Radio. When you do come back after decompressing, what's the game plan for you, knowing that there's a chance that Love and JR may not be available?
Well, like I said before, we only can control what we can't control. And if Love is out and if JR is whatever happens with him, then it's the next man up. It's the next man up. We have guys that have been able to step up. We know it's going to be a tough void with two of our bigger guys in our lineup and in our season so far. But we got to have guys step up, and we see what happens.
LeBron, Michael Vega, Boston Globe. Just wanted to ask you, in your experience, was this probably the hardest fought 4-game sweep that you've ever been involved in? And given the fact that it was going to be a physical game, Game 4, with them having to play for their lives here, did it diminish any respect you may have gained for this club, as you walk out of here?
I highly respect their coaching staff, and especially their head coach. Very well coached team. You put those guys out there every night and gave them, put them in a position to try to win a game. And I think Brad Stevens is a very good young coach in our league. And for me, I don't know. I mean, I've been in 10 first round opponents, and I've been able to sweep a few of them. I'm not sure if this is the most physical. I mean, I'm okay with physical play, so that's bothering me, right? I'm okay with it.
PJ Ziegler, Fox 8, LeBron, back here. Did you at any point say to the teammates after the Kevin Love incident, let's be smart about this, let's not do anything stupid, going forward with the rest of the game? I
harped that throughout the whole game, no matter what the situation is. I always tell my guys, let's just play basketball. Let's just play ball. No matter what's going on. Teammates are run. We have a few turnovers. An incident may happen on the floor. I always just try to refocus our mindset. What we're here for. We're here to win a basketball game, and let's just do that. How we figure out a way to get another stop defensively. How we figure out a way to move the ball offensively and get a great shot. And so I always do that throughout the course of a game, especially if it gets a little out of hand.
Chris Haynes, Cleveland.com. Kyrie, question for you. I wanted to ask, LeBron, I guess, has had this type of player before, but Kendrick Perkins, having an enforcer, he talked about one of his jobs is protecting guys like you, guards getting into the lane, always getting hit and getting knocked on. Can you talk about what he provides to the team, I guess, basketball-wise and in the locker room?
Well, he's definitely one of our veterans that we lean on. He's playoff tested, has a championship, knows what it takes, and knows his role. And I take care of Big Perk, and Big Perk takes care of us. I mean, it's as simple as that. He knows what he's supposed to do, and like I said before, we just lean on him. And times where it gets a little chippy, I think we all know in this room one person who's going to come in and stop all that. And it's Big Perk for us, and he's going to continue to do what he does.
Last question.
Bob Schramm, The Citizen. Two-part questions real quick, without getting too deep, without getting ahead of yourself. You talked the other night about defeating LeBron. Defeating the Celtics was added to your legacy. And both for you, LeBron, and Kyrie, and again, without getting ahead of yourselves, to try and bring a championship to Cleveland, which is what you set out to do. Since talk about that.
For me, I didn't, I think I said I was, just playing this franchise. As my legacy, this franchise is one of the most, winning franchises in NBA history. The Lakers. You know, so everyone knows the history between the Lakers and the Celtics and what they've done for this league. So for me to have a chapter in my career that has multiple chapters, play with the Celtics, against the Celtics, I think it's great for I guess the story that you guys tell. And our long-term goal is absolutely to win a championship, but right now, we have short-term goals, and that's to prepare ourselves for the next round and get ready for the challenge that will present itself. It was a great first test for our team. We're a young team. We have some vets, but we're a young team together. And the Celtics gave us the test that we needed, some things that we haven't seen in the first round, in the regular season.